Today is one of those days where I just felt like I needed a morning shower so badly. I just cannot believe that a few weeks ago I did not shower in the morning, because now I literally cannot imagine not showering in the morning, because something about night feedings, there's just something about it. I don't know if it's being up all night. I don't know if it's just like the breast milk that I feel like is all over me by the morning. I just feel like a crust buster by the morning, and so it's just time. You just need to cleanse yourself. And this morning, oh, that shower just felt so good. These new prenatals are literally life-changing. I am so sad that it took me until literally after I was pregnant to get them. If you're debating a brand of prenatals, just do this one. Just ignore the one that I had for the 9 months of my pregnancy, because it is garbage in comparison to this one. I'm just being honest. Here is a 2-week postpartum body update. This is where we are at right now. Honestly, I feel like from last week to this week, I feel like every single day it has gone down a little bit more. And honestly, right now, if I could describe how I feel, it's just bloated. Like, I just feel super bloated all the time now, which I wasn't used to feeling, because obviously when you're pregnant you don't feel super bloated. But I feel really, really good. Other than that, I really haven't been bleeding too much for about 2 or 3 days now, which is why I've been able to transition back into like regular underwear, which has been such a win for me. But I do feel really, really good. I feel really happy with where I'm at right now. Obviously, like, things are a lot squishier than they were before I was pregnant. Of course, they're a little bit looser and all of that, but this is kind of where we're at right now. I feel really, really good overall.
Well, who would want the stinky poopy diapers? There we go. See how much better we feel? Hi, hello, good morning, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Oh my lord, you guys. This has been such a long process to get this vlog going. Let me tell you, first off, as you guys saw, I am currently 2 weeks postpartum today, which means baby AJ is 2 weeks old today. That is absolutely absurd. I cannot believe that I have a 2-week-old, but that means that I have a 2-week-old. So things are just moving at a different speed nowadays. I am starving. It is only 9 a.m., but I have been up since 1 a.m., like all night. Basically, I was up. He's in a growth spurt as of the last couple of days, so he's basically eating like every hour on the hour, like pretty non-stop. And when he's not eating every hour on the hour, he is a big like contact napper. Like, he really wants to be just like touching me 24/7, and he wants to be held. Like, he'll sleep for maybe like an hour, 2 hours at a time if I'm holding him. And it's like, as soon as I put him down, he starts to fuss. So right now he's in the bassinet and he's actually sleeping. So I'm like, okay, let's take advantage of this moment and make ourselves some breakfast, because at any moment he could wake up and he could need me. And I can eat with one hand, hold him in the other. Like, totally have started to adjust to that lifestyle already, the whole one-handed everything. But if I can have a moment and sit and eat, that would be incredible. I figured that I would take us through a day in the life with a newborn, because that's kind of my life right now. Not my best work with the eggs, let me tell you. But I have missed making breakfast sandwiches with ham so much since being pregnant, and now I am so excited about it. Today is also a little bit different than normal, because Timmy went back to work on Thursday last week. It is now Monday, and every single day last week I had somebody here with me in the morning, so I could make myself breakfast. And so I could take a second for myself to like go shower if I needed to. So this is the first morning that I haven't had somebody else over, and that was kind of my own choice. I had people that were willing to come over and to help out, but I was like, all right, let me see if I can do this by myself and see how overwhelming it is, because realistically I'm not going to be able to have somebody over every single day. And so I was like, let's just see how I feel doing this by myself this morning. And if it's like a really bad morning, my parents live literally a half mile down the road, my mom will come, and if I can do it, then great. It'll be like a sense of relief knowing that I can do it. And it was definitely an adjustment, because normally at this point I would have eaten on Thursday and Friday, because I had someone here with me that could hold him as he naps. but I'm like, I want to try to do this by myself if I can. So that's what we're doing. And it's great to have the help, but I want to see how it goes if I just kind of take the reins by myself today. And then of course I'll lean on other people for the rest of the day. My mom's coming over in a little bit. We're going on a walk together. So I'm certainly not by myself. I want to rely on the help that I have, but if I can do some of it by myself, I would also like to do that as well. I don't know if you guys can see him right now. This is what he looks like. Vibes. The vibes are immaculate. He currently has clogged tear ducts in both of his eyes, and so they're like getting all like crusty, like when you wake up with eye boogies. Oh, what happened? You wake up with like eye boogies, but he's getting them like all the time because his like tears are like learning how to exist and like be tears. And so I've just been putting this like warm compress on him for like 5 minutes at a time, and so it like loosens everything up, and that way I can like get all of like the gunk away. And I've just been trying to keep up with it that way. That's pretty much everything that we read online. That's what the doctor told us to do, and basically like it'll go away on its own because eventually the tear duct is gonna like just start working. So that's what we are doing right now. He just finished eating. Breastfeeding has been such a good experience for me so far, honestly. Something that I wanted to be able to do, and I'm really, really fortunate that we had a really good experience with it, the two of us. He basically latched right away in the hospital, and so literally right away we've had a good experience with breastfeeding, and he really gets a good latch and he stays on, and he is hungry 24/7. So right now he is like non-stop eating, so it's definitely exhausting. Like I would say my experience has been really, really good with it in terms of being able to do it. Like I'm really grateful that we're able to do it, but it definitely is mentally and emotionally draining sometimes, because you know that when they're hungry, you're the one that they're coming to. You're the one that he needs 24/7. I have not started pumping yet. I'm probably gonna do that in about a week or so, start pumping, and that way I can like go out of the house to go to Target. I can go out of the house to go for a walk by myself, things like that. But right now I really haven't done any of that. I haven't gone anywhere without him, and so I haven't had a need for it yet. And plus I didn't want to create an oversupply of milk, because they do say that that is very common. If you are pumping too early, you could create an oversupply, and your body could think that you need to produce more than you actually do for them, and I didn't want to do that. And so I think I'm going to wait about another week to start doing that, and I think that that is going to be really helpful for me, because while I do genuinely enjoy breastfeeding, it is this like incredible bond between the two of us. We get to sit here and I get to feed him, and we get to have this moment, and he'll like hold my finger, and it's just so precious and adorable and cute. It definitely is a lot because he needs me 24/7. If he's crying and he's hungry, he needs me, which means that as incredible as Timmy is, and as much as he wants to be able to help, and he has been helping doing literally anything and everything else that he can be doing, he can't feed him right now. And so if he's hungry and it's the middle of the night and I am just like exhausted because I've been up all night, it's kind of like too bad, so sad right now. You still have to be the one to feed him because I'm exclusively breastfeeding right now. And so I think incorporating pumping in and having the opportunity to give a bottle every so often, even if it is literally like once per day, is just going to help break up the day a little bit more for me, or break up the night a little bit more, to feel a little bit of relief. So it's not just like my body physically being needed 24/7 if in case I need to take an extra like 5 minutes. Now I feel bad if I go into the shower and he starts crying, and typically we try to plan everything out around when he eats, and so that way I am always available. But right now, especially because he is in a growth spurt and he's eating so frequently, it's been like, okay, I literally just made that breakfast, and then as soon as I took my last bite, he started waking up from the bassinet and needed to eat for like 20 minutes. So it's definitely more just like physically demanding, mentally demanding for me right now, because I am exclusively breastfeeding. But I really have enjoyed my experience so far with it. I'm grateful that I'm able to do it, and so I'm really happy for that. And I just do think that incorporating pumping in so he could take a bottle even once or twice a day from Timmy or from somebody else, if someone else is like holding him, I think that will be a nice kind of like relief for me for a moment, to have like those extra 20 minutes back in my day. I am totally fine with this phase of my life being a very selfless phase. That's something that I signed up for when I got pregnant. That's something I signed up for when I decided I wanted kids. I am totally fine with that. But I also think it's really important to prioritize my mental health and my physical health. And I feel like I've done a really good job of doing that so far. But I can definitely tell, like on days like the past couple of days when it's a growth spurt and he's eating literally non-stop, how that can be kind of taxing on my mental health, because it's like I can't even eat breakfast for 5 minutes without him needing to be back on my boob. And of course, it's the most incredible thing in the world that my body is feeding him, don't get me wrong, but it is also just something that is an adjustment for me, and something that I think that pumping is going to help with a little bit of me just feeling a sense of normalcy, if that makes sense, and being able to take 5 minutes for myself, or spend a little extra time in the shower shaving my legs and not feel guilty about it, where right now I do, because I know if he's hungry, there's no other option besides me to eat it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's kind of just where I'm at right now. Like, mentally, I do feel really, really good. I absolutely love the experience of being a mom so far. I've absolutely love the experience of breastfeeding so far, but of course there are difficult moments and difficult aspects of it, and I feel like knowing that he physically needs me and my body 24/7, you can never really be off. Even if I'm just like really tired and I want to take a 20-minute nap, if he starts crying and he's hungry, you're up and you're awake and now you're feeding him. And so it's definitely just an adjustment, and I think incorporating pumping in like a week from now and being able to give him a bottle is going to help with that. I tried my best, okay?
Oh my goodness, I see that it's a wet diaper.
Baby, I got you, baby. I got you, baby.
For dinner, respect.
Good morning, guys. Oh my lord. Last night was another interesting night, let me tell you. We are definitely just in a phase right now during this growth spurt that he wants to be fed every like hour, basically on the hour, and in between then he doesn't want to lay down in his bassinet. He wants to be laying on me the whole time, which is super cute and adorable and great, but it just means that I am not getting like any sleep overnight pretty much, because he's either awake and he's eating, or I'm burping him, or he is asleep. But if he's asleep, he wants to be on me, and I'm really trying not to fall asleep with him on me, of course, just like for safety purposes. But it is very difficult because literally all night long it's that same cycle over and over again, and so it's literally like I'm like dozing off while I'm breastfeeding him because it is so tiring. So this is where we are at this morning. He is nice and content right now. He sleeps fine during the night. He doesn't sleep as well as definitely he could be sleeping, you know what I mean? Like, it's not great sleep for him either, but it's certainly better sleep than I am getting right now, because I am either feeding him, burping him, or just trying to hold him as he falls asleep. And so it was another rough night, but I think that's just kind of the phase of life that we're in right now with his growth spurt. Like, I think that that's super normal, but it is exhausting. Regardless of how tired you are, I literally will never get over the fact of how much your heart grows when you have a baby, and how much you can just look down at something that you created and just love it with literally every ounce of your being. It is the craziest thing in the entire world how much I love this little guy. No matter how tired I am, how exhausted I am, how emotional this whole process can be, I literally look down at him and I'm just like, oh my god, I just love you with everything in me.
He really does not want to be put down right now. That's like the big thing with his growth spurt at the moment.
It's okay.
And so we are going to attempt to cook breakfast today with one hand because I am starving. It is 9:30 in the morning. We have been up basically at all hours of the night. Do you see this? This is what he does. He's trying to eat my arm right now because apparently he's so hungry. He literally just ate from 7:45 till literally 9:30, basically straight through, stopping from side to side. And apparently he's still starving. I think that's just the way growth spurts are. Honestly, I have no clue. So if you are a mom and you have any idea, please let me know. We are certainly in a fussy phase at the current moment. He'll take pacifiers and like binkies from other people, but he is certainly not going to be taking it from me because he knows that I have something better to offer for him. Do you have one of those wraps that I need to try that he can like sit here in front of me, which I think he's really gonna like because he just wants to be attached to me at all times. He really just wants to be eating 24/7 right now, but he just wants to be attached. Excuse me. just wants to be attached to me 24/7. And so I'm hoping that I'm gonna play around with that later today. So hopefully I get it figured out, and that way like tomorrow and moving forward when I'm like cooking and all of that, at least I'll be able to like wear him and have access to both of my hands instead of just doing things one-handed. These growth spurts are hard. I feel like nobody talks about it. I feel like it's one of those things with motherhood that no one wants to talk about, like the difficult moments, and the past couple of days have been very, very difficult. I honestly like kind of regretted picking up the camera at first, and then I was like, no, let's capture this time. And it is difficult. He wants to eat 24/7. He literally is never satisfied. It feels like he eats for 20-30 minutes, and then he'll pull himself off, be asleep for like 5 to 10 minutes on me, and then he's immediately hungry and wants to start eating again. And that is very, very difficult, and that goes on all day long. Sometimes he sleeps for a couple hours at a time. Most of the time he doesn't right now, and he definitely wants to be sleeping on me at all times. He could probably sleep like this for an hour, but if I put him down to like go pee or to cook, I just put him down to cook breakfast before I picked up the camera, and he started screaming. So I picked him up, and now I'm going to be cooking breakfast while holding him. And so it's definitely just a difficult time. I feel like nobody talks about it. I just feel like it's so normal, and I literally like went to TikTok and was just like searching like growth spurts at 2 weeks, because I was like, is this normal? Like, should I feel this like this way? And everything is telling me that it is, but nobody talks about it. And so it's definitely normal. You're definitely not alone if you feel exhausted and you feel run down from it. Definitely rely on help if you have help available to you. It's definitely a challenging time though, because you are everything to this baby right now, and you want to do as best as you can for them, but you are also running on such minimal sleep, and so you're trying to also try to take care of yourself at any moment that you can, but that doesn't really happen. So you kind of just have to take care of yourself when you can. Remember that this phase of life is going to pass. They say that growth spurts only last for a couple of days, and so within the next couple of days he should be getting back onto like his normal routine, which will be really, really nice and very needed, because he was going on a really good stretch of sleeping like 3 to 4 hour stretches at night, and I know that that's super kind of uncommon for a newborn, but for him it was fairly common. And then I think the growth spurt happened, and now we're lucky if we make it like an hour and a half right now, and because he's just hungry 24/7. So it's just a phase of life, but I think it's so important to talk about it, and it's really difficult. Like I cried last night because I was just like, I just can't keep up. I feel like all I've done all day long is feed him and change his diaper, and it's been a repeat. Like I felt like I didn't have a moment for myself, and I know that that sounds so selfish to say, but it does have to be a really selfless time in your life. And while it's the most incredible thing in the world, I think it's also okay to get frustrated and get run down by it. And I just want to share it because no one told me about these growth spurts, you know, and no one told me how difficult that they could be when they come. And so it's okay if you're struggling going through them, but also know that it's so worth it. This is so worth it. I wouldn't change this for the world. I absolutely love these moments. I love holding him. I love breastfeeding him. I love staying up and just being able to snuggle him and hold his hand, but it doesn't make it less difficult. So know that you're not alone at all, but also know that it is definitely still worth it. And also know, and this is what I'm reminding myself, that this time of life is going to pass. It is not going to be like this for very long. It's not going to be like this forever. So let's not spend all of our time wishing it away either.
All the fun things? Oh my gosh.
Whoa! Try tummy time. Excuse me. Good job, baby.
Oh
Good job.
such a strong boy.
Good job. My Hannah. Look. What's up, Hannah? Wow. Look how cool. This is our second outfit. This is pretty good, actually. This is the second outfit of the day. Look at how cute we are. Tell them why. Tell them why. He said, I had a blowout. He said, my poop went everywhere. Onto my pants, in my legs. It was really cute, though. It's okay. Good job. It means you're eating so much food. Is this so great? I don't know how much he can see at this point. They say that he can see up to like 25 centimeters. And like, I don't have a ruler, so I'm not really quite sure how far that is away. I think I'm within 25 centimeters of him right now. Oh, that stinky face you just gave me. He thinks that he's starving right now. That's why he's freaking out. All right, fine, let's eat. So I did get the baby carrier to work, and I got it like assembled and figured out like how that's going to work for me. I literally practiced it with my mom's like purse, so it had like some weight to it, so I like knew that it was gonna like actually hold something up before I put him into it. But it worked well, so I'm gonna play around with that, and then I'll show you guys and I'll tell you guys how I like it. I got the Solly Baby brand, SOLLY Baby, so I'll report back and I'll let you know how I like it. But I've heard really good things about it, so I'll see how it goes. Honestly guys, this phase of life has been such an adjustment for me in so many ways. Obviously it's been such an adjustment for me, just like becoming a new mom and adjusting to all of that and having a baby and being newly postpartum and myself recovering and the whole nine. But honestly, a big adjustment for me personally has been the fact that I went from 2 weeks ago being pregnant, going to the gym, working out, going for walks, going on errands, like literally like doing anything and everything that I wanted to be able to do, and feeling like I was busy pretty much non-stop, to basically doing what feels like nothing every single day. And obviously I'm doing so much, right? Like I am changing his diapers, I'm feeding him, I'm making sure he's okay. Like I am doing so much. Like this is obviously my priority right now, but it feels so differently than what I was doing even 2 weeks ago, where I'd be out and about and I'd be busy 24/7. Right now, it kind of feels like I'm doing nothing every single day. I am sitting on the couch more than I probably have in the last couple of years. I am watching so much more YouTube and TV. I'm scrolling on TikTok so much more because I'm feeding him. So as I'm doing that, I'm just like scrolling or watching TV. Like I'm not doing as much as I used to, obviously, because I have him right now. And honestly, some days I feel really lazy because of it, and I feel like I'm just not doing enough and I should be doing more. And obviously I know like this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Like this is my priority, he's my priority, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Like don't take this that I'm like complaining that I have him. Of course I'm so entirely grateful to have him, but like it's definitely an adjustment for me because I'm so used to being busy 24/7, and now I try to like clean the bathroom, I try to wipe the floors down or do laundry, and it's a little bit more difficult now because he's crying or he needs me or he's hungry. And something that used to take me maybe an hour before takes me the entire day now. Editing a YouTube video maybe used to take me a couple hours before. Now it literally takes my entire day because I have to stop and I have to feed him, I have to change his diaper, and like it's just an adjustment. And it's not a bad adjustment, but it's just an adjustment where I'm so used to being go 24/7, and now this phase of my life right now is just not like that. It's a lot slower. We get up when it works with his schedule, we feed him when it works with his schedule, so my schedule is all very dependent on his schedule right now, and that's okay, and I wouldn't want it any other way. But I just want to be honest that it's been a huge adjustment for me when I'm so used to being so busy 24/7, and now I'm not. And I am still busy, of course, because I'm feeding him every 2 hours, and like the last couple days I've been feeding him every hour, and it's definitely still busy. It's just an entirely different type of busy that I'm definitely getting used to. I'm definitely having an adjustment to, and so I'm not complaining about it at all. I just want to be honest about it. The last couple of days with the growth spurt were very difficult, like I shared with you guys, just because he needed me every hour on the hour, and today was a lot better. I think we're finally out of the growth spurt. Now it's been like every 2.5 hours, back to his like normal eating schedule. Sleeping has been a lot more normal. He's actually slept. He still wants to be in my arms, but I think he's just little right now, and he hears my heartbeat, he feels my warmth, and he knows my smell, and I think that I'm just his comfort person right now, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but that's the reality of what things are right now, which is why I'm excited to get that wrap to work so I can actually like move around the house and do things besides just like hold him like this all day. Because yesterday I was holding him like this and cooking breakfast with one hand, and I dropped my entire breakfast sandwich on the ground. So that's where I was at, but all of it has been such an adjustment for me. It's been the most incredible adjustment in the entire world. And of course, the bigger he gets, the more I'll be able to do. We'll be able to go run errands together. But I don't want to take him out and about right now. He doesn't have any of his vaccines, any of his shots, anything like that. And so until he has that, I'm not running into Target. I'm not going to the food store. We're really staying home and we're going for walks. Like I literally have not driven my car in over 2 weeks. And that's the craziest concept to me when I was out and about nonstop before. So it's definitely just been an adjustment. And I love it, and I love love being his mom, and I literally wouldn't trade it for the entire world. But my life has literally been flipped upside down in the best way, but it's still been flipped upside down. So I just want to be honest, and I want to share that with you. I know this vlog I didn't do nearly as much as I used to do, but this is kind of my life right now. I change his diaper, I feed him, and he naps, and we do that over and over again all day long right now. Sometimes I do other little things in between. Most of the time I really don't, to be entirely honest with you. That's my life right now with a 2-week-old. That's the reality of it, and I want to make sure that I share that with you guys because it is the most amazing thing in the entire world, but it's also been the most difficult thing I've ever done in my entire life, and I want to share those aspects of it as well. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up the video here. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please make sure you go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. You already know it supports my channel. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification so you don't miss another video that I post. If you haven't, make sure you follow me on my Instagram and TikTok so you can see other fitness and lifestyle content that I post on there, and I will catch you guys here next time.